Your
Hats off.
There's been some things that.
You're the chairperson.
I'm so used to you doing it. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Doug, would you lead us, please?
I'm not making it. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, any public comment? Seeing none, we shall move on. I make a motion that we approve the minutes from June 23rd as written with no corrections. What?
With correction.
Which ones? Oh, you know what? She just didn't send me the corrected ones, and I didn't bother to look at the.
Oh, no, Bob just told me, well, I needed to add, was it to these? Yes, I need to add Jerry to these, if you recall.
Oh, yeah.
And also, it's 28 cork boards. It's on the first page, like, third of the way down, whatever.
28.
28 cork boards for $3,000.
Okay.
Anything else? I don't think so.
No, I mean, as I said, Kathy didn't send them to me. So, we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, fire alarm system update. Bob, you are on. How's it going?
Yeah, notice going very well. We are on schedule. At this point, we're online, and we're probably at like 98% of what the prints were verified to actually tell us to do. The last 2% is probably another couple of days' work, people, each day to finish up. We're expecting to be able to, early next week, notify the fire department and see if they can join us by week's end or early the following week.
Just a test.
To do a run-through on the testing and then get our occupancy approval. We are on schedule.
Awesome. Okay. How are you doing with the security light switches and all those silly things?
Yeah, the details there, we're working on mapping out the circuit that control the security lights in each of the buildings. And the fire alarm guys aren't going to be here on this Friday, so I was able to pull that in. And that's what John and I are going to be working the majority of the day on that mapping. I had stated I could get that done by the middle of August, so I expect that to be on schedule. I should be able to report, I'm hoping, that we're done when we next meet.
So you really did need somebody else to run around?
Yeah, the new person, because you get a radio and, yeah.
Okay.
You know, you gotta watch the light go off and then, you know, when it
You
breaks.
can't run back and forth?
Yeah.
They pretty much all lined up? I mean, you've got the switch?
No, I mean, each part of the building has its own sub-panel,
Okay.
so there's no prints for that. The middle school I have mapped out, and part of the elementary school, but the old parts of the building, no documentation to really identify that, yeah.
All right, all of those things that we approved from last meeting.
All right, yeah, item 7, Nathan will talk about the first item, and then I'll pick up after that, okay?
Okay.
Bokers, who's the vendor that won that, bid, if you recall, was based on, E-rate. And so E-rate pays 70%. Of that 25,000 that we approved, they're gonna pay 75% of that, or 70% of that.
Okay.
Right now, it's kind of, we're trying to understand, there's two ways of doing it. Either we pay the whole thing and they get reimbursed through E-rate, or if the company goes through E-rate, they pay their portion and we just pay our portion. We're just trying to line that up.
All right, so let me ask you a dumb question then. Bottom line budget, effect. If we pay it, we pay it out of this year's operating budget, correct? That was part of this whole, but we've already approved it, so it should come out.
Correct. So it
And
was,
then if we,
it's approved for an encumbrance of last year's monies. Technically, it's coming out of this year, because it's here.
well, when you say this year,
Yeah.
ending June 30th or starting July 1st?
The monies will be coming out, depending on how you look at it. Audit-wise, it's coming out of this year, because it's a cash basis. But as far as.
July 1st.
Yeah, as
Okay.
far as the DOE is concerned and the DOA 25, it's coming out of last year's.
Okay, because I'm just thinking, if we get reimbursed for the E-rate, you know, if we go over somewhere along the line, we'll have that little base that,
Yeah, it'll still come out of,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it'll just hit the expense line.
right, okay.
Yep.
All right,
So
so when are they
unfortunately,
doing
that's
that?
all we have right now. We haven't worked any other details out until we figure that out, but I am going to, reach out to them again and get an update.
Okay, so they're not installed yet,
No,
okay.
So in other words, they're gonna pay 17,500 and the balance we pay.
Okay,
That's 70%.
Yes, yeah,
17,500,
so some figures are wrong.
they pay.
Pay 50, 7,500, I'm sorry.
Who, they do?
We do,
We do.
be the balance 30%.
Okay. All right, so we'll have an update of when they're gonna start next time, Chair.
when's your next meeting? Is it gonna be the first?
11th,
The first of the first meeting though?
Yep.
August.
Yeah. But, the facilities is the last.
Oh, the last, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the last meeting?
Yeah,
Well, they'll definitely have. I'm gonna email them tomorrow and, I'll include you, Jerry. Yep. So we'll be in the loop.
okay.
Be August 20. You said we're gonna put it on last year's MS 25 and we're gonna take it out of this year's budget. How was that?
I wouldn't say it's coming out of this year's budget, because it's not wrong, that's not right.
Because we already got it,
Yeah,
Okay,
because it wasn't,
it gets tricky because you get accounting involved,
yeah, okay.
and our audits are based on a cash, you know, when we pay it, so we gotta convert it into how they wanna see it.
okay, because my understanding,
All you guys need to worry about is that it's for the DOE 25, it's being applied to last year.
okay. I just remember that if the books close, say, June 30th, and, you know, whenever they actually really close, if an invoice comes in against an encumbrance, that the auditors will do their general ledger adjustment, yes? Is that correct? It seems to me I remember that.
Yes.
Okay, all
Yes,
right,
this, I've already done this one, so
Okay.
they won't do it, but if I hadn't done it, they would do it.
okay, all right.
So what I wrote down was, will come out of this year's budget, but as far as DOE, it is coming out of last year's.
Yeah, it is not coming out of this year's budget.
July 1,
We're paying for it this year, but it's not coming out of this year's budget.
So that 17.5 will come back as revenue and go back.
Yep.
Okay.
good. All right, 36 classroom tables.
All right, 36 classroom tables are in order. The tables themselves have been manufactured. They're waiting for legs at this point in time, so that's coming in from a sub, so we're waiting on a ship date on that.
So what school that goes in?
Those, well, Jen and I need to finalize that, but it's here, new.
Oh, no.
Both are new, but we didn't show it out which rooms.
Now, when you say tables,
They're 5 feet by 18 inches.
The legs made out of vinyl? because there isn't any, it's still in the Suez Canal.
Now, what were we using those for? What were the desks?
Yeah, to replace, some of the desks that are single desks, so there'll be 2 students per table. That's why there's 36, so 36 gives us enough for 3 classrooms.
So 72 kids will have a seat.
Yeah.
No, okay, so we're gonna still be transferring them dividers to those new tables then?
Yes,
Okay, at this
if
point,
that's what we opt to do. I mean, we still have to cross that bridge, certainly open school.
yeah, we're gonna have to, yeah, okay, thanks, Mark.
All right, and the 172 chairs.
172 chairs, should be pretty close to being able to ship, but we didn't get a ship date yet.
Okay.
So,
They are ordered.
they are ordered.
Okay, they got their legs coming though. Question on,
You know,
where do the chairs go? 170,
okay, so 72 of the chairs go with the tables.
tables, okay,
The other 100, gives us more for setups in the gym.
the gym, okay, all right.
I think when the dust settles on, what I'm probably gonna do is, swap chairs out so that the classrooms get the upgrade, if you will. And the general public, all of our events are, we'll pull back other chairs that I have that match, but those will be in the gym.
Okay.
What a
Little
dude.
details. Yeah.
Cork boards.
Cork boards, have shipped, are in transit, so I'm waiting for the shipper to call.
That was 28 corp.
Yeah, there's 28 of them that are 4 by 6 feet. So sprinkle them around and,
All the
places,
schools?
the elementary school, all for the elementary.
Oh, MES, okay.
Air handler for the modular.
All right, air handle for the modular should come to the distributor next week. So we're waiting on that arrival, and then we can schedule that work to be done.
But it will be done before school opens then.
If not, it doesn't kill us. It's something we can do Saturday, Sunday,
Okay.
you know, the intervention that we would need to do. Yeah.
Shades.
Okay, so the inventory for both schools, has been completed. I completed that a little bit before vacation, but myself and the vendor trying to get together hasn't happened yet, but it's probably gonna be early next week.
So,
It's about a 3-week lead time on that.
so this will be the end of our shade purchasing? Because we've
No,
been
it
doing,
ends up doing, I'm actually, let's see, new ends up going in the nurses, but then the others are replacements out of that. So I didn't order any last year, so out of last year's budget, we had, you know, the, 2,500, right? 2,500 out of that, allocated, because I didn't do any shade work last year.
no, these are all going where exactly?
There would be replacement ones, so,
Both schools,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, Ken Bassett did the inventory for me at the elementary, and I did the high school one, so they're sprinkled around both buildings.
So how many,
Oh, I didn't count them up.
no, I didn't mean that.
Oh,
After that, what's left?
whatever ends up breaking, wear, tear.
Are we caught up?
Yeah, everything would be, everything is covered for the most part. There's a couple of broken ones, they just can't go up and down, we just can't use them and let daylight in. So these replace those. And it's something you have to do on the fly each year.
Now, have you seen the new shades? Instead of rolling like that, they just move it and they just pull down and they just raise them up. That way they never go up accidentally. You have to actually lift them. Have you seen those?
I have. These are commercial shades, so
Okay.
they're rated to last much longer than those. Those typically fail.
Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah.
SAU siding.
SAU siding, we had the bid walkthrough yesterday. Prior to that, we did advertise for one day in the paper, and I called 8 companies around in the immediate area here, which included also Crano Construction, that did the handler at the elementary school. None of them showed up for the bid walk. However, when you advertise in the paper, then other trade groups pick up on the fact that there are bids out, and then companies subscribe to those, so then they're notified. So we did have two companies that listed on my call list come yesterday. So we did have, Target New England Historical Restorations, and then Daniel Morgan General Contractor. So those are the, some detailed review of their previous work that they've done, assuming that they did. So once they bid, then we can go to that.
Okay. All right, and you'll just keep us updated if somebody else.
Right, so the bids are due, next Tuesday at 4 p.m., so August 3rd, to the SAU.
Okay.
That's good.
But,
Did you say 4 feet?
yeah,
Question on, so they're gonna be replacing stuff and then putting siding on, because some of that wood has to be replaced, is that correct?
there are some spots that are really tender,
Possibly,
that'll come off. With the people there, when we have looked in detail at that back deck that nobody uses, in order to wrap around that whole building, what we decided there, was to tear the deck off and put in a set of stairs with a railing to exit, so they have another exit path out of there. Because it's not something used, so they'll give us a third exit off of that first floor.
That's my picnic table out there that nobody ever used.
Yeah,
Used it,
Did you? I don't think so, Rick did.
we had,
Okay.
and what we'll do on that too is, as you look at the building, the lower roof is really in bad shape. The upper roof, needs to go in the CIP along with the chimney. So the chimney, evaluate the chimney, make sure the liner is correct. And so the chimney repair and roof all need to be one project.
Okay, and that will throw in the CIP?
CIP.
Okay,
well,
The lower roof raft, which is the farmer's porch, if you will.
Yeah.
And then on the other side where Nate's office is, there's a little bump hole.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah, we've been on the other side, yeah. So so included in the quote, we do that lower roof, because it's really, really bad shape. And the reason is because when they do the flashing above, then that can be replaced when they do the vinyl siding. So they'll come down, flash underneath vinyl siding, flash over the new roof.
Okay,
Yeah, that part, like the upper. Because when they put the wrap on the upper, it's underneath the old trip engines there.
okay, so when we get a quote for the siding, it'll include a little bit of the roof?
Yeah, it's gonna include that lower roof section,
Okay,
tearing the porch off,
okay,
looking at, several of the structural locations, like those posts that are on there. We're gonna try and save those, ornate pieces that are on the porch.
yeah, that would be
But
nice.
but what we'll do though is, because that structural is, we'll have a pressure treated 4x4 with the PVC sleeve, and then look at mounting those onto that, okay, to keep the decorative part. And then, the decking itself on it too, looking at, which way to go with that. So if we can save it and, paint it and postpone redecking it, or also have to look at replacing that.
Okay,
now, I did ask about the CIP, when it was gonna start meeting, but that's still up in the air.
Okay,
No idea when that committee is gonna get started.
all right.
So we'll have to get together and see what we wanna, we know that truck's gonna be on there, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, ACO, AC.
No, anything else outside treatment?
Oh, okay, possibly forget that.
Yeah, so that's the same contractor as the A handler, so that's also going to be done next month. Better, either tear it all apart, put a new floor on in it, and then put it back together again.
Okay, can I move on to the AC?
Yep,
No?
ACs are in, and the electrical is not. Because of the delay in the ACs and also scheduling the electrical contractor, what we did is we took some of the ACs that we had in Newt and brought them up to the second floor, because the second floor runs typically in a non-heat mode, it's gonna run, up to 7 degrees warmer than downstairs. So we've been lucky with summer school, we've only had a couple of really hot days, other than that, it hasn't been really bad.
Okay, so if you,
But the electricians will schedule their work, that'll be done in August as well. And one of the.
Flanagan?
Sorry,
Flanagan?
yes.
Okay.
One of the electrical runs, is for Old Newt here, and it will add an electrical outlet for an AC unit in 7. Because room 7 in the room above it, room 12, circuit for the splits, so we trip and breakers randomly, so it's not a really good thing to have, obviously.
You turn them all on and everything goes off the whole town.
Yeah, so we'll do one circuit here as well.
Question on the 10,
Yep.
where's gonna go? Where are they gonna go?
They actually go, on the first and second floors of the
Find out
elementary
who's
school.
talking.
It's, somebody in the background of, Earl, phone call.
Probably a dog.
Yeah.
No, like,
So you're gonna go on the first and second floor of the elementary school as you walk.
all 10?
What'll happen, I wanted to explain it, 10 was my goal out of that, but what we have is, I had broken it out, so we had, let's see. So I had 6,000 for the ACs out of the 18,000, the 12,000 for the electrical. So what we're doing with the electrical is looking at, doing the sunny side, which is the playground side, to break up that side first to the tune of $12,000. So we don't go over the budget that we had set. So it won't be a quantity of 10 electrical outlets, but we did buy 10 ACs.
But, no, my question is, all 10 gonna go to MES, or,
10 ACs are for elementary,
okay, that's what I was looking at now. Fine.
and then we'll bring the new ones back to new.
Okay.
Now, so that where we're putting the air conditioners, that's where the air handler was, I'm handling those rooms, is that correct?
Yes, and so what it does is, because we have an energy recovery air handler, then what it tends to do is make the building temperature when you're in a non-heated mode creep up faster, because you're doing recovery, so you can only do free cooling to the extent of what the outside air temperature is. So because of the way the unit runs, it will climb faster. Inside temperature will climb faster relative to the outside. So we're good in the morning because the way the sun tracks, but by the afternoon, it can really crank the temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we cool the inside, then that helps moderate that by a few degrees.
All right, anything new happening? How's it going?
I have something.
What?
I did mention it to Bob about, Steve, you there? Gagnon?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, we talked to Steve about, Bob didn't know because he was fishing, didn't take any of us.
To Alaska.
Alaska, I got relatives up there too, you know, Bob. Want to talk about, putting the recording equipment in the caf?
Yes,
Steve?
yeah, I met with the vendor last week and we reviewed everything, so we're waiting on a quote, and we're getting a few different options to set up different functions that we'd have as in terms of like projectors and screens and how it interfaces with meetings, so that we don't have to use the TV. So it's going to give us a lot of flexibility, and we should see that in a couple of weeks.
Now, you'd be able to run all this equipment from your home.
It would give you a lot of flexibility for both remote meetings, in person, as well as potential for anything if you wanted to do larger groups or use the projector that way. So yes, it would be something that could be run remotely.
Okay.
I think what he's probably asking, Steve, I don't know how technical he is, but I know I ain't at all. So if you can run it remotely, that would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's certainly something we can run remote. I guess what I was trying to elaborate on it is that we're looking at it as a larger function, not just for meetings. So it'll give us flexibility.
Right.
But certainly for meetings, 100% remote, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I would, we are gonna be discussing that. That is on, you think that job could be done by the end of August?
He may be able to. I will ask him and I can follow up with you.
I guess we'd have to find out where we could take the money. Now, that was under $10,000?
It would be as a project, yes.
We'll have to go to the BA and find where we could take that money. I would like to make a motion that we send it to the board tonight, because there is a, item on the agenda tonight to discuss.
So what is it
Yep.
called exactly?
It's gonna be the same thing they could do at the town hall,
The recording
the meetings.
equipment, there we go. Is that a good word? Recording equipment?
To be installed at the CAF.
Yeah.
And the price should be under $10,000
Here, right?
here.
This gas, yeah.
Sorry about that, Bob, you were away.
Your plan is to continue having meetings here?
Correct.
Well, you know what? We have our budget meetings at town hall, and this is just so much more conducive. I mean, people can spread out. The town hall, it just feels, ugh. Anyway. So did you make that motion, then I'll second it?
Yes, I did.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
So we'll send it, sorry about you, we didn't get to you, Bob, I didn't get onto it as soon as possible. I don't have
Well,
anything.
You're fishing, come on. We tried getting in touch with you, but obviously you had no service out there.
Did you
I wasn't looking at
One in the water, ended up fishing it out.
see any bear or any moose?
I saw a deer when I was flying in the bush plane, but not anyone around camp.
Thank goodness.
I was camping a long, long, long time ago, Baxter State Park up in Maine. Uh-huh. The guy came around, or whoever, around the next morning and said, yeah, so there were some bear prints, 'cause we were like 2 feet from the beach.
Yeah.
On the beach, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
That's when they roam, for sure.
All right, you have something. Anything else? Undercoating of the truck.
Sure. Somebody said first to get the pickup truck inspected, it's going to Milton Garage, down by the dam,
Right.
6th.
August
Inspection.
6th, okay.
So then we'll follow that through if we need
Okay.
to fix anything or what, and then it can go forward, get a check cut, and schedule the undercoating.
Awesome. Is it still running all right?
Yep.
Okay.
All set, Madam.
Well, I'm absolutely happy about that, Mr. Vice Chairman. Bob, do you have anything else that you need to add?
Almost done.
Jerry?
Jerry, anything left over?
No, you got things I didn't even know about, so.
Nathan, no?
No, okay.
Tammy? You sure? Okay. All right, then,
Make a motion to adjourn.
how about going into non-public?
You don't have anything?
I have nothing. Do you have anything, Bob? Okay, then I will make a motion to adjourn at whatever time it really is, 5:29.
5:29.
Wow.
So second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.